Sarah. I want to talk to you about teenagers today. I've done some videos on resilient parenting, and one of the things about little kids that's easier, is that they're little. You know that they're having a tantrum, you know they're unreasonable, it's irrational, but you're the adult, and even if you get frustrated or fatigued from all the outbursts, you still have a sense of difference. There's a difference between them and you. They're little. They're supposed to do this, and you know how to handle it, and they're going to come around, and then you're going to soothe them and bring them out of it. So little kids are a little more cut and dry because you expect the tantrums. What's difficult about teenagers is that sometimes they'll turn on you. And it's very much grown size. And the problem is we can't treat them like grown-ups because their brains are still 10 or more years away from actually being finished growing. And they're also at a time developmentally where they feel everything 100 times more than we do. So they're not able to be as rational, but what they're feeling is very, very real, and they're not exaggerating or exacerbating on purpose, but they're coming at us with life-sized energy that's very triggering and very adult-like, and our nervous systems can interpret it as a threat and even kind of go into that fight or flight space. So that's why fights between parents and adolescents can be so charged and so loud, and people end up screaming at each other. Now, if you're watching this and you don't have a teenager and you say, well, my teen is never going to disrespect me that way, don't even, because they all do and they all will, and guess what? They are supposed to. Here's the problem with teens that I see with most parents is, aside from the fact that you have to recognize where their brain development is so that you can get on their level, you also have to stay engaged with their world as much as you possibly can and share their interests. It's very dangerous right now if teens don't have enough distraction in their life, because they need to be learning and growing and feeling and exploring, and if they are not, their brain can turn against them and look for negative things to get the chemical responses that they're looking for and some kind of stimulation that they're looking for. So being bored is very activating for everybody, but especially for a teen, it can really go down a negative rabbit hole. So important to have your kids busy in doing productive things, because that is protective. I'm a big fan of sports for that reason, that you get the right coaching and then you get the right people together and the right team, and that is a really positive part of development, and it keeps them focused and not going down some of these negative rabbit holes that we see teens go down that then ends up ruining their lives sometimes. So that's kind of the overview. When it comes to having conversations with your teens, here's what's difficult is when they do yell at you, and they will, it's not like it bounces off the way that it does when they're little. We don't really take it personally when this little tantruming toddler is freaking out at us. When our growing teenagers come back at us and there's a misunderstanding and they yell at us, or we've raised our voices and they match it and they yell back, it actually feels personal. And so it will feel like an emotional attack a lot of the times, and they know how to do that now. So they can hurt you on a very real adult level. And the thing is, you can't take it personally because you have to understand that. At the same time, don't deny that it is personal and it hurts. Use this as an opportunity, because a lot of parents are shutting down and shutting away from their kids because it is so much work. Part of the reason that teenagers are so much work is because it's an opportunity for you to teach them about healthy relationships and healthy communication. And the challenge is that a lot of parents haven't done this work on their own. So they're not doing it in their own relationships as adults, and they're not teaching it to their kids, and they're not exploring this or doing this work together with their kids. It's such a rich time of opportunity because their frontal lobes are growing and they can get it. Finally, they're not just throwing toys around, they can get it if you approach them in the right way. So 3 big mistakes that parents make in this whole time of life is, 1, they're too permissive. So they're too busy, they start ignoring, or they want to have the ego drive and the glory of, well, I'm the cool parent, I'm the best friend. You can't be your kid's friend. You need one role, and that's as parent. And you can't be too permissive, because they will turn on you or on themselves in other ways, because they need boundaries to feel safe. They don't think it, you might not think it, but developmentally, neurologically, we know that they need something to bounce up against. That their job is to push the boundary, your job is to hold a calm one and be firm with it when it counts, so that they feel safe. This is how they establish that safety as they're going through all of this emotional turmoil. The second area is that then parents are too permissive. The helicopter parent, or not permissive enough, the helicopter parents that are too strict, that are too restrictive, that are holding their kids back from doing everything, exploring everything. They're having so much control because they think they're protecting them. And then their kids are not able to have any autonomy, and they're supposed to be exploring life away from you more than they are spending time with you. So if you are too restrictive, you're going to see rebellion come later, or you're going to see a shutdown, or you're going to see some negative behavior start to come up because the brain will get frustrated at not being able to do what it was designed to do at this time of life. So too permissive is dangerous. Too restrictive is really dangerous. You want to find a happy medium. You want to find a place where you're engaging with them and connecting with them in healthy ways, where there is healthy boundaries and structures, but that when you do have misunderstandings, you now have a job and an opportunity that is daily to teach them how to communicate in person during conflict, during things that are uncomfortable, during misunderstandings, how to fight fair, how to recover, how to resolve, how to repair. Marriages fail not because they fight, but because they fail to repair. This is the same thing that will happen with your relationship with your teenagers. You have to teach them this. If you don't know it, start working on it now and start doing it with your teenagers so you can both grow and improve in healthy relationships. You have to be able to fight with your teens included. Do it fair and teach them. When you screw up, acknowledge you screwed up. Show them how to apologize. Show them how to take accountability for it. Show them how to repair. Show them how you can have conflict without disconnection, and that you can always come back and make a repair and move forward, and how that grows intimacy in your relationships with your kids and in your relationships with your partner and with everybody. This will teach your children how to be better, healthier, stronger adults. You have to do it. If you're missing this opportunity, if you're just reacting and freaking out at them because they're disrespecting you or they've hurt your feelings, you are missing the entire landscape of the purpose of this time in their lives. I can't stress it enough. It's harder work because it's adult work. And if you haven't done it before, now it's double the work and double the responsibility. Take on the challenge. It's going to save your kids' futures and their relationships with others, and it will for yours too. So take this seriously, take it on. It can create the best, richest relationships of your whole life and of your kids, and give you this family unit that is so full of trust and love and honesty and humanity and humility, that you will just grow as a family and individually as a result of it. Don't miss this opportunity. So get in there with your kids, start making repairs, start doing the work you need to do individually and together. I hope this helps, and good luck.